Patterson now back here with the show. And Chip, let's get into this. Start off with Duke, Illinois, who are meeting for the first time since 1965. Illinois has won 5 straight games, which is tied for the longest active FBS win streak entering week 2. So what's so intriguing about a Duke-Illinois matchup?
Oh, incredible quarterback matchup here, Zach. Obviously, with Illinois, we've got Luke Altmaier. We are used to that. We saw what he was able to do helping lead Illinois to a very successful season last year. A lot of clutch fourth quarter, go-ahead touchdown drives. But for the Duke Blue Devils, what they got in Darian Mensah has already started to look fantastic. A little bit of a slow start against Elon, but by the end of the game, when he got out, he had put up a boatload of yards and touchdowns. They spent a lot of money to get Darian Mensah out of the transfer portal, and now they've really started to get him settled into this offense. I think that Duke is a very, very dangerous team for Illinois, a group that does hope to be, in that 3rd or 4th spot in the Big Ten, potentially contending for a college football playoff. As you see right here, the Blue Devils in recent years have done a number on AP Top 25 teams. This is a woo upset alert in Durham.
That game at noon Eastern. That's game number 5 on your list. We make our way to number 4. And on CBS this Saturday, Oklahoma State and Oregon will go at it. And we're not just being company men here, because this game legit got really intriguing thanks to Mike Gundy pocket watching and calling out Oregon's budget, which then led to Dan Lanning with this response. Take a listen.
Mike Gundy spoke quite a bit today and mentioned a lot about how much the resources are here, a lot of spending on the team here, suggested the roster cost $40 million last season, and also said that non-conference scheduling perhaps should be more aligned with budgets. Just didn't know if, with all of those comments, if you had a particular reaction or thoughts about future scheduling or how much there may be a disparity between these programs.
Yeah, it sounds like there is, listening to him talk. Like I said, I got a ton of respect for Coach Gundy. Ultimately, how blessed are we to be in a place that's invested in winning? If you want to be a top 10 team in college football, you better be invested in winning. And we spend to win. Some people save to have an excuse for why they don't, right? And ultimately, he's a great coach. They've done an unbelievable job, but I want to be a team that's competing at the highest level. And we're really fortunate to be in that situation. So I can't speak on their situation. I have no idea, what they got in their pockets over there. I'm sure UT Martin maybe didn't have as much as them last week, and they played, so we'll let it play out.
Oh, Chip. Get the popcorn ready. How you feel about this?
I love all of this. Dan Lanning just getting locked and loaded and ready to go with the response. I first of all, I'm increasingly just really appreciative of the role that Dan Lanning is playing as Oregon's head coach and sort of in the college football landscape. They do spin to win. And you know what I saw in that opener against Montana State? A group that, despite losing a program record of NFL draft picks, is still just as fast, strong, speedy, and athletic as ever. So what I'm really excited, and the reason why I included this in my top 5, Zach, full transparency, even before we got this extra spice on top, is because I think that we might have overlooked and underrated the Ducks' opportunity to go back to back as Big Ten champs. And so while Oklahoma State is not a group that we think is going to be contending for a conference title in 2025, it is a step up in competition. So I want to see Oregon quarterback Dante Moore. I want to see DeCorian Moore, their freshman wide receiver. The rest of this Oregon team, if they can continue to be as dominant, because if they are as ruthlessly efficient in week 2 as they were in week 1, whoa, that is big news for the rest of the Big Ten.
That game 3:30 on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. On to number 3 for the game, Kansas and Missouri. They'll play the border war for the 121st time overall. First time since Missouri left for the SEC in 2011. Are things going to get chippy, Chip?
Hey, obviously, you're dialed in, Zach. These two schools hate each other. It's not, this is a good rivalry, but we respect each other. No. It is downright old school hate, not clean old fashioned hate. And so will it get chippy on the field? Possibly. But will it be chippy in the stands? 100%. Will the environment around this stadium just feel so flammable that if anyone lights a match, the whole thing just might go up? I think that what's really exciting here is the football side, because of course Missouri came into the season with a little bit of a quarterback battle. Now they're with Bo Pribula because of an injury to Sam Horn. Kansas has gotten off to a 2-0 start. They're trying to continue to have a bounce back season after missing a bowl game a year ago. The two things that can make any one non-conference matchup be must-see TV are, number one, real passion, number two, real stakes, and I think we got both of those here in the border war.
3:30 for that kickoff as well, but forget a border war. We can keep it inside the state of Iowa for Iowa State, 72nd edition of the Cy-Hawk rivalry. The under is 17-3 in the past 20 meetings. More of the same?
I would think so, because Iowa's revamped offense did not look very revamped. We've got a new quarterback, of course, in Mark Gronowski coming over from South Dakota State. I thought that was going to lead to a little bit more explosive activity from the Hawkeyes, and yet you looked up and you were tracking the score for Iowa in the first half, and you're like, this just looks like the same old Iowa. Now, on the other side, I do think Iowa State is putting together a very interesting campaign and a very interesting case for having back-to-back double-digit win seasons. Rocco Becht has been very, very strong as the quarterback in the first two victories, and this is an opportunity here in this rivalry game to continue to stack success. I was wrong, Zach. I was fading Iowa State. I called them overrated. I thought you lose two 1,000-yard receivers to the NFL. Programs like Iowa State don't just bounce back from that. But you know what? Matt Campbell, Rocco Becht, and the rest of these Cyclones certainly have. And so for Iowa, I don't know if you're going to be able to continue to show the offense that didn't show up as much in week one. But for Iowa State, what an opportunity to continue to build a potential playoff resume.
And now to the number one game of the week, according to Chip Patterson, Michigan at Oklahoma. The Wolverines' first non-conference road game since 2018 when they went to Notre Dame. This should be fun, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is the Oklahoma, Brent Venables, all the pressure. You go and you get John Mateer. John Mateer plays so well in week one. His Heisman odds have him now as the third or fourth name on the board. Can they get it done against this Michigan defense, though? And, of course, for Michigan, Bryce Underwood, who, while we didn't exactly have a blowout win against New Mexico, 34-17 being your final, there were moments where Bryce Underwood showed you all of the reasons why he was the number one player in his class and why people are calling him one of the top quarterback prospects of the last decade. Two electrifying playmaking quarterbacks, two coaches that carry a lot of pressure to deliver results, and of course, you know, just those big brand names, the logos, the kind of stuff, Zach, that can bring in all the country to watch a game in prime time. So Michigan and Oklahoma, undoubtedly the game of the week here in week two.
Yeah, a little fun fact. The head coaches in their only other previous meeting, Barry Switzer and Bo Schembechler. So taking it way, way back into time for this one. Chip Patterson, appreciate it. Looking forward to another full slate of games this Saturday for all of our viewing pleasures. And of course, if you want more college football, our new podcast out there on the block is College Football Insiders. Tons of inside information to be found there with our slates of great reporters. That's all we have for now. If y'all saw the look that Brandon was giving me, you'd be confused too.